Perfect. Perfect. How do I sound, chat? How do I sound? Hopefully not too loud. How about now? Wow, you can even hear me scratching my beard. That is crazy. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Mic check, mic check.
We're looking for a stranger to finish this beat. Let's go. I'm asking people to help me make.
As I gotta talk, edit, and you know what? Just think about Aiden Ross again? Before we go any further, make this all worth it and leave a like, subscribe, become a member, and just do anything to make covering the all-time league leader of the Legion of Lame worth it. But you know what? Maybe this is worth it, because right now, with loser Aiden Ross, after messing around for too long and going too far like the worst internet trolls ever had, life comes at you quick sometimes, and from crying and turning into the cop Karen to donating $100,000 in one of the most expensive apologies that I have ever seen, calling DJI the disgusting things he did, dropping a trash diss track that was one of the worst things I have ever heard, and then running around with 6ix9ine like he is Suge Knight, which was one of the most cringe things we have ever witnessed. All that ended up getting Aiden to do is directly prove that he is the fakest tough guy of them all, and he is not ready to stand up for his actions one bit. And by having to get the cops involved on stream, losing a ton of money, and well, now with all the things he is crying about on camera, we are finding out that he lost a lot of opportunities and we are only seeing the surface of it. Really, when you look at what's been going on with Aiden and DJI from every single angle possible, not just did DJI win whatever you want to call this weird feud and beef that they have had, but we also did as well, because when Aiden Ross loses this much, there is no other way to say it, the rest of us just walk away as winners. Because if we just put into perspective how bad this has gone for him, well, after finally stepping into an industry and lane where there are real repercussions and real consequences
mic check,
you no longer are able to hide, troll, or sniff chairs out of the bad situations you are in on your own accord. And all it took was Joe Budden, Whack 100, and Glasses Malone just getting on mics and calling you out for talking the way you have, and as we ended up hearing, and it is funny considering all the negative talking you have done about his artists and even other acts who used to be signed to him like Kendrick Lamar and everything they stand for, but who really did seem to set this thing off and cause a domino effect that added more power was none other than Top Dog himself, who made some calls and made sure to prove once and for all that for Aiden Ross, no matter how much you work with Steak and how much you work with Drake, just like your cupcake law-loving Karen best friend that is fully getting you nowhere, all that means nothing when it comes to spaces around hip-hop and in hip-hop and the places you are trying to disrespect the culture in that you have exploited so much. And now, what is really amazing about this moment is that when it comes to the totality of what Aiden is facing for the world seeing what he called DJI and the way he revealed by his own actions and crash outs that his hate for her goes way deeper than music and it is rooted in some genuinely disgusting stuff. Well, now, just like the loser rappers such as Drake, 6ix9ine, people like Academics, and so many others over the years that have made Aiden comfortable enough to try and troll the way that he had, and just speak down on so much to the level that we have seen, which is just way too far. We are really seeing a stop to it, or at the very least, see this loser just understand that there are consequences for who he messes with depending on what circle he tries to go to, and when you're not messing with trolls that are more desperate for clout than you, or losers who want to hang out on your stream because that's how irrelevant their careers are. When you mess around with hip-hop and you mess around with that good side of the genre, which is the side that you think is terrible, well, bad things are going to happen if you speak on the culture this way. Because for people who actually care about the powerful culture that has been changing the world for over 53 years, rooted in the power of music, everybody's work has not just collectively kicked out Aiden further than he has ever been from this whole thing, but to create a mess so bad for him by just letting him crash out over DJI and the song he released, because really, that's all this feud has been in a way. It's been DJI releasing a song, people responding to Aiden's response, and Aiden responding more and getting into further trouble. Well, after seeing how further that trouble has gotten, major teams right now are looking at Aiden and telling him to do things that show that this has left a bad mark and that he is defeated is when you admit that you lost out on a major collab stream with an NBA player because of what has been happening, and you donated $100,000 to try and act like you don't believe the things that you showed the way you spoke about Doechii you so clearly do. Well, when you see all that and add on top to that Adin Ross just didn't get invited to some major event that Mr. Beast had going on, and Adin seemed really sad about it, although when you realize the type of platform Mr. Beast has and how much he has to lose, it makes all the sense in the world why he would stay as far away from a brand risk as Adin Ross as possible. Well, altogether, when you see all these things happening, it's undisputed. This is the mark of a loser, and it seems like things are only about to get way worse because Adin's still facing some major consequences. And when you just put all this into perspective and see this moment for what this is, well, I want everybody to do this with me right now and just collectively as hip-hop, music, but you know what? Just decent people who don't want to be annoyed and want the worst people to win. Just say thank you to Doechii, because clearly what we are seeing now after a little over a week of her releasing a record that is promising that for the people who hate her so much, more is going to come and they are not gonna like it. I mean, Doechii is really moving within a way that only a handful of MCs could even fathom, and she's really making Hall of Fame level plays, because what we have just seen and the domino effect it has caused on Adin, that is a Hall of Fame level play and something that she deserves all the credit for, because just in the matter of a little over a week and just in the matter of a verse where she said some things that applied to some losers, but, and I think this is ever so important, she never said anyone's name directly. Doechii has now created a spiral where Adin Ross has not just been checked, made out to be the fakest tough guy despite acting the way he has, and well lost $100,000 from the donations to try and look good. But now with the way teams are seeing this, and as Adin said, the big name NBA player who backed out of a collab had his whole PR team just say that this would be a terrible look for your brand and that he needs to be stayed away from at all costs. And then add on top of this that he missed out on a major event from Mr. Beast because Mr. Beast didn't invite him, and while we don't know the specific reason, I'm sure despite his platform, Mr. Beast saw what was happening this week, saw the way it could affect his whole event, affect the sponsors, affect everything he has built, and said, you know what, this is all the more reason just to stay away from this guy. Well, overall with all this, we are seeing a domino effect start, where now after undisputably being seen as a piece of trash who stands for the worst things and the worst things only, it's over and it's not defendable anymore. Big names and brands can't stand by Adin Ross because there is just way too much to lose. And when you see that Doechii did all of this from a verse where she didn't even mention his name and just reference some of the loser games he's playing, I mean, anybody who is continuing to disrespect the brightest star that rap has seen in years should be scared, because if Doechii mentions your name directly, how are you going to act then? Because to make a song that has now created a collateral effect of taking millions of dollars away from Adin Ross's pockets and even more away from his reputation, I'll say it again. Thank you, Doechii, for doing this, because even if we look at this from the context of hip-hop, for Doechii to walk out as the first rapper in years to finally expose a streamer for being the loser they are, and after these streamers have tried to exploit hip-hop and give nothing to it, to just walk out as the victor here and make Adin look like the clown here and have everyone see him for the terrible person he is, all the way to where his pockets and brand have been taken down a few notches. You can just see that going on tour with Kendrick Lamar at the end of 2025 clearly helped Doechii and taught her so much, and she is definitely taking plays out of his book right now, just in terms of how to be one of the most tactical and high-level MCs when it comes to making your opponents look like all-out clowns. Because just to move with your music, especially when it's to the crowd of people who call you an industry plant, say your music has no impact whatsoever, and then put the weight of their problems on you for some reason, and then responding to that, you take all of that, put it within the very music, and now get Adin to the place that he is at currently? I mean, how are you going to sit here and say that Doechii is not impactful now and really in her lineage to superstardom, which this is where she is headed? I hope everyone has accepted that. And just in the greater sense, in this shift in hip-hop and the end of the frauds who have tried to run the game but only have tagged it lame and done nothing else, well, in just exposing them and the large running scheme of propaganda, bots, and lies, that they have been utilizing to keep things stagnant and in their control, but that they just can't hold together anymore. Because really, where things get worse for Aiden, which they do get worse, so just get ready. Well, it all comes down to a theory somebody broke online, which shout out to him, where he explained that Aiden Ross may have set up the entire stunt to release the awful Bacon diss track on Doechii in the first place, and therefore, on the accord of his own impulse, got himself in as bad of a place that he is in now. And the reason why that is because the first person to tag Aiden in this entire situation and bring Doechii's song to him and to his spaces and put them together was an account that you may know called Fearbuck, who after doing some research, this guy discovered that he used to be an Aiden Ross fan page in the past. Aiden has gifted him some bags in the past, and with that and with all we know, when you look at that information and see the pro Aiden Ross stuff and pro ideas that he continuously supports, it has brought up the question around if this account is being used to push and circulate narratives for Aiden the same way that Academics uses Academics TV, or Drake uses Academics TV as well, and who knows what else. And in the midst of all of their bot lawsuits and the claim we saw the other day about Drake, Academics TV, and the guy who runs it, and Aiden Ross within that major lawsuit, and if you remember what they were saying, they were starting to talk about how widespread their network of bots and deception really may be, which is all used in order to keep these weird games going on. Well, altogether, this all just looks really bad for Aiden Ross, and at the very least, there are just too many signs here to sit and act like there is nothing going on. But what I will say on that note is that whether Aiden is fully behind this account or he just got set up by his own fan page.
This is the ED, it's not for the faint of heart.
Welcome back.
Who else is gonna get this place through the 4th of July? I could use a second set of hands.
And so it begins.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
The details don't really matter for the moment being because it looks horrible either way. And if we look at this from Doechii's perspective and what she has went through, and I mean her mentor is the Top Dog Entertainment label and system, and she is close to Kendrick Lamar, she must at this point have heard all the stuff that Kendrick knew about the lies and games that Drake and his buddies were playing against him to try and smear his name. And I'm sure after all the claims they put on her, she's had to deal with and explore these lies and where they can be coming from herself or with her team. Will ultimately just explore what's going on here beyond the surface. Well, ultimately now, between Doechii's genius and the TDE system, somebody knew that these lines were going to expose these frauds, make the bots bot out, make the loser streamers with fragile egos, well, be loser streamers with fragile egos, and overall, just prove Doechii to be right about everything she has said and validate her impact and success, while at the same time, for the real people, not the bots, and everyone in reality, to find out just how disgusting and terrible Aiden Ross and the people around him really are. Because with this record, whether it was Aiden Ross, S.2, Neon, or another Legion of Lame Hall of Fame, Doechii knew somebody was going to stand by her greatness and her words, and somebody was going to fall into the trap, and maybe she didn't think it would go can't wait to hear how you feel, and I can't wait to have some more conversations about how rap music is really being effectively used as a communication tool right now.
Chichi mess from the books, and you already know, man. I hope you motherfuckers are enjoying your motherfucking Friday. Look at what I'm pushing, baby, what I'm pushing. That's my baby. That's my baby. Look at my baby. Look at my baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. So you already know, Chichi Mess from the BX, and I want to empower you by telling you that if you motherfuckers need to be mentored so you can make some motherfucking guacamole, just hit me up. If you know how to copy and paste, hit me up. If you're a motherfucker that just likes to make money,
Yo, how do you guys have your Stream Deck set up? On my first page, up top, I have a bunch of apps that I can open, and this middle row, I have a bunch of hotkeys for Windows, like toggling on and off HDR, and then down below, I have different profiles for OBS, like if I want to stream to Twitch, or to YouTube, or just straight up record. And my second page is for when I'm live, and I want to do things like change my scenes, or run some ads, or move my webcam around, or make some clips, or split up my recordings, things like that. And over on my Stream Deck Plus, I can change the output whether I want to listen through my headphones or speakers, and then multimedia controls, as well as some toggles for all of my audio sources if I want to mute things.
that's pretty cool. I'll have to learn how to do those things. Guess everybody's really going after Aiden Ross, huh? Let's see what this guy has to say.
If it's someone else that says it,
No.
I think what's frying me a lot.
Let's watch this.
Watching the artist.
I think what's frying me a lot about this whole Aiden Ross drama is that Aiden is exactly who everyone thinks he is. And I'm surprised we're just now having a larger conversation about how much of a loser and culture vulture he truly is. This is a man who has not only profited off of black culture clout-wise, but he also made an endless amount of money doing so. He finds himself so comfortable. He feels like he can talk about our intimate culture in his hateful and negative way. This is a man who has perpetuated nothing but venom for years, and niggas want to just now have the conversation about Aiden Ross. The conversation shifted to his friends because they've enabled this foolishness for far too long. Comment for the algorithm. I feel like I have a lot of authority to speak on this whole Doechii situation because I made a video on Doechii back when her industry plant allegations were at a high, and I basically debunked them because the whole thing with Doechii is that not only has her career been a thing forever, but she's been viral prior to her recent success and Grammy win. This image you're seeing right now is from her YouTube before she blew up, so she's not a plant. Now with that little context out the way, this is the actual beginning of the story.
Look at this. So they, ooh.
Yeah, because she did something dope, and he was mad about it. Umbrellas! Get the umbrellas! Get the umbrellas! I love her. Get her fucking umbrellas, goddammit.
This clip blew up, and obviously, Doechii got hated on hard.
Get her fucking umbrellas.
The level of standards people hold black folks to. I'm not gonna act like the clip doesn't seem crazy when you first view it, but after some time and coming back to this clip, I really think Shorty was just stressing out because it was the Met Gala. I don't think this one moment encapsulates who Doechii is, especially considering how everyone watching this has been stressed and accidentally blew up on someone. But the thing with black people is that we have to be perfect, or we'll have niggas like Aiden Ross criticizing us for what I feel like really amounts to just one bad moment.
I hope everyone. Oh, Doechii rant. Oh, dude, don't get me started on that. Hey, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that industry plant. Don't get me started. You guys can say shit whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. I've been streaming for like a long time now. Doechii, the umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit.
And look who's
She's still
talking, a
someone
guy.
like that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's whole.
And look who's saying this shit. A person who has no talent. He's criticizing Doechii, and he got no fucking talent. You understand this is the way this fucking shit is all set up? It's like it's fucking unbelievable. It is fucking unbelievable that the talentless are complaining about the talented doing something talented. Like, bro, you don't get it. You're not part of the culture. That's why you don't get it. You're completely lost because you're not part of the culture, bro. I'm sorry. Did somebody forget to invite you? Maybe they did.
Horrible. She has zero talent.
And something that bothers me is that Adin Ross literally has some of the worst people on his platform. And does anyone remember when he would basically go on Discord and pay people to do really, really bad and weird stuff? I remember when that stuff went viral, and it really makes me question, why is this guy criticizing Doechii so harshly when he's paying people to do weird things? The truth is that he doesn't like nor respect black women. Calling her out of her name, being so disrespectful, these are all exposing how he truly feels. This is who Adin Ross is, and he's been showing us the entire time. Mind you, Playboy Cardi basically robbed his dumb ass, and he ain't have half the energy. He a lame ass dude. But the next thing that pushed the beef forward was a bunch of misleading headlines. And I guess I can't necessarily be surprised. We are in the era where rage baiting and farming clicks is a pretty easy way to make hella bread. It's just the nature of the game apparently. But they posted a portion of Doechii's and SZA's new song, Girl Get Up, and framed it as an Adin Ross diss.
All that industry plant shit whack. I see it on the blogs. I see you in the chats. You suck every rap nigga dick from the back.
I mean, the lyric itself doesn't really seem to be insinuating it was aimed at Adin, especially because Doechii was being called an industry plant by literally everybody. Niggas been on her head for the longest about it. It wasn't just exclusive to Adin. My own homies was frying me for liking Doechii. So evidently, Adin just wanted an excuse to talk about a black woman.
Bro, this is the new era of auto-tune.
Shawty want $1 million. So make a wire. Shawty want $1 million.
You can try all of these tools free for 14 days with the auto-tune unlimited subscription. It's actually on sale right now.
Shut up.
Nigga, I was on slave over chips and guac. Fuck that. You know I'm a Jew. Beef with me. You know I'm a Sue. You know what to do. These churn bitches, they wanna fuck on a Jew. Fuck Doechii. Fuck Doechii.
I ain't even gonna lie, I'd rather smoke a cigarette than be seen in that room. I'm not bullshitting. There's no amount of money you could pay me to be around these guys.
Stupid.
And then they just made such a lame diss. I don't really know what to add other than the fact that it feels weird to see so many men dogpiling on a black woman for seemingly no real reason. Mind you, Doechii never paid for a dude to pee on his brother or something. I don't know how Adin came back from this for real. It was such a dystopian thing that he did, and low-key taking advantage of niggas who were desperate for that money. But that's just how I feel. The way I interpreted this next clip is that this is Adin trying to explain that his criticism, quote unquote, isn't isolated towards black women.
This dirty bitch, that's kind of like he's referring to a race.
I don't speak to only black girls as dirty. I call a dirty bitch a dirty bitch. She's a dirty bitch. I don't care what color you are. If you're a dirty bitch, you're a dirty bitch.
Yeah, but you ain't never called no white girl a dirty bitch.
Same thing. Call her a dirty bitch. She's not black.
Hey, the infuriating part, because I think because cancellation is also subsided.
But it's not real. And
basically, it feels like Adin just
he's
said
like in denial.
He's not racist, he's misogynistic. And this is also something that we already know, because Adin was just talking about how viewers have to be into women for them to watch a woman stream. And to that, I'm just like, gang, women be tuned into the streamer space as much as the niggas, and I be seeing it in real life. But the thing is, comparing Doechii to Wendy Ortiz is like comparing apples to bananas. Them shits is not the same, and this lame nigga knows it. Adin also ended up losing out on a collab because of the controversy, but it's low-key bittersweet.
I had a good trip. I got to eat some dinner with Los. I want to let you guys know I had a stream plan with a very famous basketball player. It canceled last minute because their PR called. So,
because you're lame.
With everything going on, so we got to give like 30 days. But off season,
30 days?
Stop coming at people hard and shit.
They not gonna fuck with you, bro.
You know what's funny about the guy? We called. He's like, yo, hey, I'm like, you know, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like, I fuck with you. I actually like that you're vocal. I'm not gonna say who it was, but he was just
you better now.
I got you.
If what Adin is saying is true, it is a little lame that an athlete can't stand on business. for real, especially when Aiden, generally speaking, just isn't a good dude, and that's what makes it bittersweet. I also feel like him trying to talk about Aiden being vocal, that's just stupid, because just being vocal isn't substance. Aiden is a loud voice, but he's spitting a whole bunch of nothing, a whole bunch of low vibrational slop to a bunch of easily influenced people. Critical thinking is at an all-time low.
So I'm gonna explain what I'm doing, chat, because you know a lot of people think, I'm not doing this because I'm racist. I'm just trying to prove a point here. That these people that want to fight so hard about certain shit.
Wait. Did he just say it's not that he's just it's not that I'm just racist? That's what he just said?
Why don't you guys, I'm just trying to prove a point here. That these people, you know, a lot of people think, I'm not doing this because I'm racist. I'm just trying to prove a point here.
Oh.
That these people that want to fight so hard about certain shit, why don't you guys do anything good for where you come from? I give out $100,000 to my city. I'm going to give out $100,000 to a lot of other people's businesses and stuff. Why can't they do it too? Why not? You know what I mean? You know, it rubs me the wrong way. Why not? You could say these things, you know, but actions speak way louder than words. I think we could all agree. You know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Now, Aiden is definitely saving face here, and I have clips to prove this, but he does make a good point because there is a lot of performative activism. That's basically what Aiden is saying. I think it's also true to say that just spending money on charity does not equate to being a non-racist person. Niggas do that for the optics all the time, and Aiden, if you aren't racist, you should do things beyond just throwing some materials at people. Because aren't you the same guy telling FaZe Banks he shouldn't apologize for calling Max the N-word?
No, dude, don't apologize. Ricky, you're going backwards. Dude, there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Oh my God.
If you're saying it in a non-racist way
God.
with your friends and you're not doing it on stream and they're okay with you doing that,
He's
no,
crazy.
It's not about shut up, Aiden. I don't care, bro. I'm being real with you guys.
And this is what I mean. Aiden Ross built his entire career off of black
Don't listen to
culture
that guy.
If you're a
Do
producer
not
who
listen
hates
to
AI,
that guy.
This plugin might change your mind. This is Reimagine in Co-Producer. You can take any sample you find and flip it into infinite one-of-a-kind variations that are unique to you. Here's how it works. Just open up your DAW and drop in the Co-Producer plugin from Output. It listens to your track and finds samples that match your vibe, key, and rhythm. Just search for a sample you're looking for, like Dreamy Synth. Now let's say you like this, but you want something a bit more unexpected. Just hit Reimagine and boom, it transforms Output's premium musician-made samples into endless unique flips. Always original, always uniquely yours. And the best part is, unlike other AI sample tools, Reimagine gives you unlimited access, no credits and no limits to hold you back. Uses ethically trained AI from Output's royalty-free sample library. And it works in any DAW, so you can drag and drop sounds right into your session. Find it, flip it, always sound original. Reimagine is live now in Co-Producer.
Warning, what you're about to learn cannot be unlearned. Music producers and struggling artists, are you still spending weeks trying to create that perfect track? Scrolling through sample packs? Tweaking that snare for the 47th time? And still sounding like every other bedroom producer on SoundCloud? What if I told you that the next Grammy-winning hit could be created with just one single click? Introducing MusicFlow AI, the world's first studio-quality music generator that turns your words into chart-topping tracks faster than you can say royalty-free. Need vocals that don't sound like a robot choking on auto-tune? Our lyrics tool creates songs with vocals so realistic, your own mother wouldn't know it wasn't you singing. Ever wondered what Beyoncé would sound like covering your bedroom demo? Our cover song creator lets you put any artist on your track. Legal disclaimer. Please don't actually release this commercially. We don't want to get sued. Bad at mixing? Our resolution tool is like plastic surgery for your mediocre demos. One click and boom. Studio quality master that sounds like you spent $10,000 at Abbey Road. While other producers are still deciding which kick drum sample to use, you'll be uploading your 5th viral track of the day. That's not just efficiency, that's career domination. Don't believe
integrating
heard
that
enough.
within his content.
I
and his
heard
persona.
enough.
He forced his
Don't
way
care.
into the hip-hop space by being adjacent to some of the biggest artists in the industry who all happen to be black. And he can't even have the decency to hold Banks accountable? That's just lame as hell, bruh. And it's really bare minimum. It really, really is bare minimum, and it's just hella disrespectful. I'm gonna give you another example, okay? But first, take a look at this call and tell me what you see. I see Aiden Ross, clavicular with the nigga hat on. I see Nick Fuentes, white supremacist, and I see cuff 'em. I see a bunch of weirdo white dudes being enabled by a raccoon, but it's okay because Yusuf was spitting facts the entire video.
I fuck with cuff 'em, bro. Y'all know that, but bro, does he not realize how this looks, bro? The niggas, look who this nigga is doing segments with. I don't think he understands though. He thinks them niggas fuck with him or something. Yo, bro, they're making these calls, cuff 'em, and their thought is, oh, let's get the funny monkey in here so he can make us laugh. Nigga, they don't fuck with you, nigga. They don't fuck with you, bruh. How do I tell you? Nigga, Aiden your man. Yo, bro, this nigga got MK Ultra or something? They got this nigga? Wasn't that nigga just beefing with a racist nigga on Monkey like 2 weeks ago? Now he like, am I tripping?
I ain't even try to let it play too long.
Nigga, Aiden your man. They don't fuck
What
with you, bruh.
the fuck
How do I
is
tell you?
that, yo?
Nigga, Aiden your man. Yo,
Oh,
bro,
hell
this
no,
nigga
son.
got MK Ultra or something? They got this nigga?
They
Wasn't
got
that
him.
nigga just
They got him.
beefing
They
with
got
a
him.
racist nigga on Monkey like 2 weeks ago? Now he chilling with a white nigga that call him nigga to his face? Like, am I tripping?
I ain't even trying to let it play too long.
I don't-
Yusuf basically said
Wow.
everything I needed to say. The cognitive dissonance Cuff'em be having, because I vividly remember when he was beefing with that monkey app racist at the time. And it's so crazy because he was beefing with a random racist dude on Monkey, but these be the niggas he's around. But let's just take it back to Aiden Ross. He has people around him who will enable the foolish behavior he consistently exhibits. He been stealing black swag for his entire career, and at this point he feels comfortable enough to speak on black people, and I don't mess with it. Someone like Aiden should not be speaking on us, and that's facts. So with that being said, in a nutshell, don't let a lame get comfortable in your crib, because then you have Aiden Ross. That's really all I that's really all I had to say. Subscribe for more unsolicited
Crazy.
opinions.
He
I need to
is
edit this shit. Y'all niggas be
crazy.
blessed. I'm gonna get up out of here. Bye bye.
Nuts.com is a snacking utopia. We have supplier relationships from all over the world. I actually don't speak a lot of other languages, but Gemini and Google Meet, it translates everything live. It just kind of breaks through all those barriers. It's just magical.
In the playoffs, you need to find that extra gear. The betting is live, and the mode is electric. Playoff mode, only on FanDuel. New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win.
New England Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs is facing assault and strangulation charges from an alleged incident that officials say took place earlier this month. Diggs' attorney said in a statement that he denies these allegations.
Stephon Diggs currently risks criminal prosecution and being banned from the NFL. And this has been building for years now. This isn't the only allegation circulating about him.
And I know you can't say but like certain words on these platforms and things like that, but can you say unalive? Yeah. Okay, so he attempted to have me unalived because of him making a pass at me.
It's almost unheard of to have this level of drama orbiting one person that seems relatively quiet himself.
And I don't speak on people's kids, but that's a lot of damn kids that I speak about.
Alongside these accusations, there are several women he may or may not have gotten pregnant this year alone. But in the midst of all this negative publicity, it's important to note why fans have loved Stephon Diggs so much throughout his decade-long career at the NFL. Diggs famously turned down scholarships from across the country to stay home and play at the University of Maryland. After losing his father at a young age, he chose to remain close to his family and mentor his younger brother,
Having a chat
Trayvon, who
overlay
was also
on your
pursuing a
stream
career in
is a
football.
great way to be able to go ahead and increase engagement.
Leave and play
because
for a prominent
viewers
powerhouse,
love to see their
or
name
stay
pop up on
close to
screen.
Trayvon.
So in today's video, I'm going to
Stephon
show you how to go ahead and set up
chose
your chat overlay directly inside of OBS Studio. Let's go ahead and dive in. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have your OBS Studio Having a open. chat overlay then you on your your stream is a great way to be able to go ahead and increase engagement because viewers love to see their name pop up on screen. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and set up your chat overlay directly inside of OBS Studio. Let's go ahead and dive in. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have your OBS Studio open. Then you want to come to streamelements.com, and I'll put a link in the description of this video. Once you get to this webpage, you're going to want to go ahead and log in with your Twitch account, and then it's going to ask you to authorize Twitch to have access to Stream Elements, and then you're going to see a dashboard just like this. On the left-hand side, you're going to select Streaming Tools, you're going to select Overlays, and we're going to go ahead and create a new overlay. We'll go ahead and bring that up. It's going to say Overlay Resolution. You're going to leave it at 1080p, and then you're going to go ahead and bring that up. You're going to select Overlays, and we're going to go this. On the left-hand side, you're going to select Streaming Tools, you're going to select Overlays, and we're going to go ahead and create a new overlay. We'll go ahead and bring that up. It's going to say Overlay Resolution. You're going to leave it at 1080p, and then you're going to go ahead and hit Start. Now we're going to come to this plus icon here at the bottom, and on the left-hand side, you're going to select Streaming Tools, you're going to select Overlays, and we're going to go ahead and create a new overlay. We'll go ahead and bring that up. It's going to say Overlay Resolution. You're going to leave it at 1080p, and then you're going to go ahead and hit Start. Now we're going to come to this plus icon here at the bottom, and we're going to select Stream Tools, your Stream Chat. So now you can see here that we have this black box, and what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and customize this. So to be able to do that, we first want to go ahead and use dark chat. We'll leave it there for just a few moments. Show message permanently, and then you can go ahead and do tools, your Stream Chat. Now we're going to come to this plus icon here at the bottom, and we're going to select Stream Tools, your Stream Chat. So now you can see here that we have this black box, and what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and customize this. So to be able to do that, we first want to go ahead and use dark chat. We'll leave it there for just a few moments. Show message permanently, and then you can go ahead and put a delay for 2 seconds. This is what I recommend. That way you can give people time and they don't try to spam, and it keeps the chat flowing nicely. So next we want to come to where it says position, size, and style. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and make sure that it's at 541 by 670. This is going to give you a nice size, and then we can resize it directly inside of OBS. Then we want to come to where it says text settings. We're first going to go ahead and enable the custom font. We're going to name this Impact, and that's going to give us a nice bold, easy to read. And then we're going to check this color, and we're going to make it white. Okay, and then from there, what we want to do is text size. We want to put this at about 25. That's about a good size, and you can always adjust this later. So now that we have that in place, we want to give us a nice bold, easy to read custom font. We're going to name this Impact, and that's going to give us a nice bold, easy to read. And then we're going to check this color, and we're going to make it white. Okay, and then from there, what we want to do is text size. We want to put this at about 25. That's about a good size, and you can always adjust this later. So now that we have that in place, we want to go ahead and hit save. And once you hit save, you're going to name this overlay chat. You're going to hit save. And now what we want to do is we want to grab this paper clip. And we'll come back here to Stream Elements in just a few seconds, because there is one setting that we need to adjust before finalizing everything. So we'll come back to OBS Studio. We'll come to the scene where we want to go ahead and add this chat. Okay, and you can see I have the chat here. So I'll delete this one here for the moment. And then we'll come back here to Stream Elements in just a few seconds, because there is one setting that we need to adjust before finalizing everything. So we'll come back to OBS Studio. We'll come to the scene where we want to go ahead and add this chat. Okay, and you can see I have the chat here. So I'll delete this one here for the moment. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and use the plus icon. We want to come to browser source. We want to name this chat. You'll simply select OK. And now here where it says URL, we're going to go ahead and paste the link that we just went ahead and copied.
When do we copy a link? Was it here? He lost me, chat.
I'll delete this one. The scene where before finalizing everything. So we'll come back just a few seconds. And now what we want to do is we want to grab this paper
that
clip,
link.
and we'll come back here to Stream Elements in just a few seconds, because there is one setting that we need to adjust before finalizing everything. So we'll come back to OBS Studio. We'll come to the scene where we want to go ahead and add this chat. Okay, and you can see I have the chat here. So I'll delete this one here for the moment. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and use the plus icon. We want to come to browser source. We want to name this chat. You'll simply select OK. And now here where it says URL, we're going to go ahead and paste the link that we just went ahead and copied from Stream Elements. Then for the width, we're going to do 1920, okay, by 1080. And then you're going to press OK. And you're gonna see here that the chat is gonna go ahead and come up here for this black box. So now what we wanna do is we wanna position this where you're gonna want your chat. And we wanna go ahead and test this. So if you've gone ahead and come to settings inside your OBS studio and you've connected your Twitch account, then you should have a chat option pulled up just like this. If you don't, you can go ahead and do this directly on the Twitch app as well. So we're gonna say this is a test just to make sure everything is working. We should see the chat pop up here. Perfect, it's popping up. So now we wanna come back to Stream Elements and make an adjustment. So inside of Stream Elements, we're gonna come now and make the chat transparent. That way this black border is not blocking anything on your stream. So to be able to make this transparent, we're gonna come to settings, and where it says dark chat, you're gonna select custom. Once you do that, you're gonna see here that it's gonna go ahead and adjust. Now I want to go ahead and make the size of this text a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and use 30. It's gonna give it a nice size. And the beautiful thing is once you hit save, it's gonna automatically update inside of OBS Studio. So let's go ahead and come back to OBS. We can go ahead and do another test. This is a test. We'll go ahead and see it pop up. And now you see here that now we have our transparent chat. Now, if you want any of the overlays that you see that I'm utilizing, like this countdown timer, you can come to streamdesigns.com where they have tons of overlays you can select from, emotes, static, Twitch panels, stinger transition, and so much for you to be able to utilize. So I'll put the link in the description of this video. Now, this isn't the only way to be able to go ahead and increase engagement. There is a way for you to be able to get more followers, more subscribers, and that
Don't care. Go, hold on.
back hit save, it's gonna automatically anything. Now if one thing is working, we should see you gonna see here that the chat is gonna go ahead and come up here for this black. We're gonna do 1920, okay, by 1080, and then you're gonna press
You lost
OK.
me.
And you're gonna see here that the chat is gonna go ahead and come up here for this black box. So now what we wanna do is we wanna position this where you're gonna want your chat. And we wanna go ahead and test this. So if you've gone ahead and come to settings inside your OBS studio and you've connected your Twitch account, then you should have a chat option pulled up just like this. If you don't, you can go ahead and do this directly on the Twitch app as well. So we're gonna say this is a test just to make sure everything is working. This directly on the Twitch, then you should have a chat option pulled up just like this studio chat. And we want to go ahead and test this. So if you've gone ahead and come to settings inside your OBS studio and you've connected your Twitch account, then you should have a
All of that is done. Nothing's happening. Let's keep watching.
chat option pulled up just like this. If you don't, you can go ahead and do this directly on the Twitch app as well. So
Directly on the Twitch app. I don't see how. This is so annoying.
We're gonna say this is a test just to make sure everything is working. We should see the chat pop up here. Perfect, it's popping up.
Nothing's
so now we want
popping
to
up.
come back to Stream Elements and make an adjustment. So inside of Stream Elements, we're gonna come now and make the chat transparent. That way this black border is not blocking anything on your stream. So to be able to make this transparent, we're gonna come to settings, and where it says dark chat, you're gonna select custom. Once you do that, you're gonna see here that it's gonna go ahead and adjust. Now I want to go ahead and make the size of this text a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and use 30. It's gonna give it a nice size. And the beautiful thing is once you hit save, it's gonna automatically update inside of OBS Studio. So let's go ahead and come back to OBS. We can go ahead and do another test. This is a test. We'll go ahead and see it pop up. And now you see here that now we have our transparent chat. Now, if you want any of the overlays that you see that I'm utilizing, like this countdown timer, you can come to streamdesigns.com where they have tons of overlays you can select from, emotes, static, Twitch panels, stinger transition, and so much for you to be able to utilize. So I'll put the link in the description of this video. Now, this isn't the only way to be able to go ahead and increase engagement. There is a way for you to be able to get more followers, more subscribers, and that's by utilizing Stream Alerts.
I didn't do shit.
So go ahead and watch this
Nothing
video
happened.
right here where I walk you.
You trash, bro. You ain't help me at all. You did not help me at all. You did not help me. Sorry. You did nothing. I hate those fucking type of bullshits, man. For real. I hate that shit, yo.
So if you want to have your Twitch, how to add it. So if you want to have your Twitch chat popping up on your stream like this, or like this below or above or anywhere on your stream, in fact, then I've got you covered. Let's go into how to do that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head to streamlabs.com and log in with an account that you might already have. If not, make an account.
This is how you can add.
It's fucking crazy, bro. Why? Why couldn't it work? It doesn't fucking work. Fucking stupid. This is fucking stupid. Did that work? What happened, puppy? Come here. Where are you? Uh-huh. Jump. Up. You got it. Go ahead. Now, go ahead, go. Go. Good boy. Did you hit yourself? Hit your leg right there? I'm sorry, puppy. I should have carried you. How you feel? You eat your chicken? No? Why not? Should be eating your chicken. Careful if you fall, puppy.